to a judicial process and procedures. You shouldn't be tortured. Every human being that is breathing have a right to exist. Now, we're not talking about the right to exist, but I understand how loaded that question is. Whenever people ask, do you believe Israel have a right to exist? That's a loaded question. And I know what it means. It's loaded because they put you in a position that they think you may either say yes or no. Your yes becomes illegal, because it's illegal to say that. You put yourself under the security radar, and whenever you say yes, you give Israel the legitimacy to exist and do whatever they like. Now,
it's illegal.
now,
it's illegal. Hang on, you're saying it's illegal to say that you don't want it to exist?
that's illegal. That's illegal.
Illegal?
Yes, it's illegal to say that. Yes.
Illegal?
You don't know what?
Is it illegal?
Let me ask you a question.
Is it illegal in this country to say that Israel doesn't have a right
okay.
to exist? Because all these people must be breaking the law then.
Well, I would not say the people here is breaking the law, because here has special laws that protect people to say things. Generally, if a person is working for the council or you have a government job and you say publicly Israel does not have a right to exist, you will be released from your job. Number two, you will do you mind if I finish?
I don't mind, but I disagree.
If you disagree, that's fine. I understand you disagree, and I know you would disagree before I say it. But can I finish? But do you mind if I finish? You don't care for me to finish, are you?
Even though you know. Go on, carry on.
Yes. So the question you're asking me about Israel having a right to exist, I fully understand that being a loaded question. My answer to you is this: every human being has a right to exist. The babies who are killed right now in Gaza, they have a right to exist. Everybody, a criminal has a right to go to court, and he has a right when he goes to prison to be fed, and when he's in police custody, given all the rights he has. Everybody have a right to exist. But that's not the point. That question is loaded in order to put a position in a person in a compromising position. That's what that question is meant to. Now let me spin the. Let me spin.
Hang on, you're saying that I posed the question, so you're saying I posed the question that was loaded. Yeah, that was not my intention. I'm genuinely, innocently asking you: do you feel, from what you're saying, it sounds like you don't feel that the state of Israel does have a right to exist?
No, I never said that. No, you would like me to say that.
No, I don't care what you say.
No, you would want me to say that.
Get the fucking answer out.
You want me to say that?
I don't want you to.
Does Israel have a right to
I'm
exist?
not making this. I
If you
don't
ask me the
care.
question, the same question she was asking my sister.
Everybody, not just Jews. No, everybody. Everybody have a right to
Say
exist.
no. Maybe
Everybody have a right to exist. But the loaded question is that puts you under the security radar, and if you're working in a public servant, you'll be sacked.
through the Zionism, okay?
That's the implication.
Maybe
Yeah.
says yes.
No. It's not a simple question.
People who ask that question, the majority of them use it in a loaded way. You may be an exception.
You don't think this guy loads his questions?
Sorry? Sorry?
I said, you load your questions, you've got an agenda. Like I say, you've been hectoring me 5 minutes into this conversation. You don't even know where I stand on this, but you're having a go at me. The idea was we were going to have a polite conversation, but you literally said, you know, I like polite.
Are you unhappy with having a conversation with me?
The way you converse.
Are you unhappy with the way I'm having a conversation with you? Do you want to have a conversation with the rest of the gentlemen?
Yes.
Right, I'm quite happy to step back.
Does South Africa in apartheid South Africa? If somebody
I'm not
asked
good with that.
It's all right.
if somebody asked you,
All right.
if somebody asked you, do South Africans,
Keep it there.
the white side,
Sorry? None of these cameras belong to me.
the white South Africans in the 90s when the apartheid was still going on, if a white man came to you and said, do the white South Africans in South Africa have a right to exist? Is that not loaded?
Well, not the people. We're not talking about the people. We're talking about the state. Should it be run by white people?
The South African white government at the time, do they have a right to exist?
Should it have been a white state? Is that what you're saying?
Did they have a right to exist?
We're not talking about the people, we're talking about the state. So does white South Africa have a right to exist?
Did the state at that time have a right to exist? The apartheid.
That's a hard one because
if you
It's a hard one.
Because if you say no,
She understands what the yes
I
knows.
do understand
Because she understands the consequence of yes.
because if you say no, you're
She knows that.
You're racist against white people.
No, it's not racist. Beyond that.
No,
No, it's beyond that. It's supporting
It's a
terrorism.
good one.
It is supporting. It's not racism. Apartheid has very little to do with race. Apartheid has to do with disempowerment of specific group of people. Now, it's the reason why she's reluctant to answer the question. She knows the consequences of the question, that the yes will apply the same to Israel. That's why she's reluctant. But anybody who is objectively involved in justice will know, everybody, the world, America, England, the whole world understand apartheid was evil. And apartheid was wrong, and it should not have done all the things, and it should not have get away with all the things it got away with. But you're reluctant to say that. Do you know why you're reluctant?
Right, so can I go back to talking
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, of course. Of course.
Right, so I think that's a really good question, because literally the Dutch took over Africa, and yet it doesn't take much to see that the way they treated the second-class citizens. So did they legally have a right to be in that place? They took it over, they won it in war, but because of the way they acted, most people wouldn't have any problem saying they shouldn't have been there. So, and were there other examples like, are there any other examples where people have taken over and then people have, I guess...
Why they didn't have two states in South Africa?
Yeah.
Why didn't have two states? Why in Palestine, what we call Israel, two states?
They didn't have democracy, did they?
Where?
In South Africa.
They had a democracy, they had elections.
They didn't have free
They had
elections.
elections. They didn't have free elections, they had democracy, they had elections,
They did
and
work
all
for
the
us.
global powers of the world were embedded with South Africa at that time.
In Israel, they do have elections, and about 20-25% of Israel has got. I'm not speaking for Israel either. I'm not an Israeli, but I'm just to make the
Speaking for them,
No, but I'm
in favor of them.
No, but just to take your point. So in
Have you
Israel-
examined the democracy of Israel?
So in Israel, they have about 20-25% of the people are Arab, and they have full voting rights, as I understand.
As I understand.
They're pretty much.
But the question is this. Whenever you look at the nature of any apartheid regime, they have some 5 key characteristics. Number 1, they have a history of brutally killing and assassinating people without the right of law. So which means they make themselves lawfully to kill others other than themselves. Secondly, they have a superiority ideology. So we could look at the characteristics, measure it against who the globe has agreed to be apartheid, and then measure that and see whether Israel fit these characteristics. So let us look at the characteristics, the qualities, and the core concepts of an apartheid regime. Apartheid regime has a brutal record of killing men, women, and children indiscriminately, without law, without justice, and without reason.
That's what happened
And
in South Africa.
that's what happened there. And that's what makes it wrong. Now what happened, the race issue is to block, to shield them. So apartheid, now look at any regime in the world, and anytime they have a track record of brutally slaughtering people as a state without right, without justice, that carries the consequences just as apartheid. The second thing is the all apartheid regime have a superiority ideology. Look at Israel, it has what? What is the ideology of Israel?
They're better than others. This is a fact. This is it in their scripture.
The president says that, talks about the superiority. In their constitution, on their website, they talk about Israel Jewish superiority. Look at India has the same superiority.
Even the bloke who stands over there.
Who?
Even the bloke who stands over here. He doesn't like Netanyahu. The guy.
He does what?
The guy. Can you not understand me?
No, so I'm not hearing you
The
because
white
somebody
guy.
back is shouting. Sorry.
The white guy.
doesn't
you
like
mean.
The guy who
Netanyahu.
stands here. He doesn't
The one
like
is that the
Netanyahu.
Netanyahu's a
Israel
criminal. He's a criminal internationally, that's why. But shall I say
He
one
doesn't
thing?
like Netanyahu. So
You
what-
mentioned.
you can't quote what Netanyahu
No, he's
said.
against Palestinian. He's against resistance defending their land.
He's
He is-
against Hamas.
No, he's against the PLO.
Against terrorism.
No, he's against the PLO, against Hamas. And then I correct him.
Are you a mother?
Are you a favour of Hamas?
No, hold on. Don't, that's a loaded question as well.
Yeah, and those Arabs are not allowed to be Jews.
This is the kind of questions. Okay, if you want to ask me the questions, my dear, my sister or my mother, okay, Hamas, okay, they are Palestinian, regardless whether I agree with them or I don't agree with them. Hamas, they are born in Palestine before the state of Israel. Okay, before the creation of Israel. If you're talking about Hamas now and Hamas before and Hamas forefather, they came from that part of the world. Whether I agree that
But I don't support them. They blew up people in London.
The way they did it was wrong, but they had a right to defend themselves.
That's wrong.
No, they didn't.
No,
Right to kill
what
people.
I'm saying
Kill
is,
people.
I tell
They
you,
did kill.
In a lawful
I
way.
tell you something. But if the British, if the English, if the British, they went to Ireland, if the British,
Shall we move? Shall we move?
no, if the British they went to Ireland, I think the Irish they have the right, to defend themselves, regardless in what form they do it is up to them. Okay, that is.
Well, my family are Irish, and I don't think that they
No,
did
if
that.
they come here, okay, and they throw, they are wrong, okay? But if the Zionists, the Israeli, the Jew Zionists, they go to Palestine, Hamas, they have the right to defend themselves because it's their land. Do you understand? Hamas, they don't. No, hold on. Hamas, they didn't. No, the Palestinians, they did not go. Brother, no, the Palestinians, they did not go to Ukraine or Poland or Argentina.
Me acaba de llegar el iPhone 14 renovado que me he comprado en Back Market mucho más barato que uno nuevo. En principio,
Or Romania or Hungary, okay, to kill the Zionists. The Zionists, they went there, okay, which is my mom, which is much older than the state officials. They went there and they tried to defend themselves. That's what it's all about, Hamas or PLO or the Nova. What favor have you done to us? Okay. No, regardless whether they had or not, there are people of the land. I don't speak. No, there are the people of the land. It's up to them. No, the Irish is up to them what they want to do. The Irish is. In Ireland. Yeah, but if they move out, if they
Serbia genocided Bosnia and Kosovo. Okay? Now, this was an absolute genocide. This is a fact. Now, Kosovo, the Bosnians, they chose to defend themselves and did a lot of atrocities that doesn't take away from the fact that the Serbians are the initiators. They are the villains. They are the ones who are the enemies. Yes, people are humans to make mistakes, but the main villains are the Serbians. Like Israel went over there in the last 24 hours, they've killed over 20 people and injured 74 people. I saw on my phone yesterday, a week, 2 days ago, a building was hot, and there's a fire, and burning, and she's crying like this. Listen, these are the Gazans.
Netanyahu is from Ukraine. He's a Ukrainian.
You said 25% of Arabs have rights and everything. That is actually false. Because if an Arab in Israel wanted to marry a Jew, they will not. It is illegal in the family law. Family law of Israel. For Jews to marry non-Jews, even if they're Israelis. Second of all, there's blockages.
Have you ever seen a group?
There's no rights.
Can I ask you this question? Can I ask you? Have you ever seen a Middle Eastern group traveling from the Middle East and creating their own state in Europe? Have you ever seen a group of Middle Eastern people travel to Europe